Right now, the judges of LA County are being served with papers. They're being served with a lawsuit which will disqualify any and all sitting LA judges who have benefited from banks.
Yes! Yes!
This is a huge victory for the Occupy LA!
Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their mind. I've seen so much resistance from behind.
The papers have been served!
Yeah!
And what we're asking is for them to do the right thing now! Do the
Right thing now!
Do the right thing now! Do the right thing now! Do the right thing now! Do the right thing now! Do the right thing now! Do the right thing now! Do the right thing now! Do the right thing now!
Judge with a precipice, which is an order from a superior to an inferior. Within the precipice, it requires the chief judge to notify all of the judges that he supervises to step down from office and disqualify themselves in any case involving a bank or a bank issue. The reason for this is very simple. The retirement benefit program for every judge in the state of California is at least 60% invested in bank products, which includes mortgage-backed securities. So everyone that has come before a judge on a bank issue for a lot of years has not received a fair shake. There's a conflict of interest. And when the judges knew that they had a conflict of interest or should have known that they had a conflict of interest, they committed judicial corruption, which is cause for disqualification. The papers that were served on the chief judge were served on Governor Brown and the Attorney General on Tuesday. It requires Governor Brown, under his capacity as the chief magistrate, the chief law enforcement officer for the state of California, to investigate every judge in the state that is receiving a benefit from the banks and sanction them by disqualifying them, and requires them to clean up their own mess. In other words, contact every person that they've stolen a home from. And I use the word stolen qualifiedly to particularly state the cause of action and straight up theft when you're being paid as a judge by the bank through your retirement benefit system to kick someone out of their home. It's flat wrong. Everyone in the country understands this concept. And that's why we chose California, because there's so many people right now in California that are suffering from this judicial corruption.
And what puts the three of you in this particular position to be able to serve papers to the judges?
Any citizen of the state of California has the authority to serve papers on any public official. The issue is this, and simply this. We, the people, created the government. We own the government because we created it and we funded it. We paid for everything. We own this building. We own the governor's office, the office itself, and the building itself. We have the right to make complaints to them, and they have the public duty, the public obligation, which they're paid to perform very well, as a matter of fact, to listen to our complaints and investigate. They have failed to do so. And Susan here is a trustee for the original state of California. And by trustee, what I mean is that Susan has stepped into the position that have been abandoned by our current public officers. They all now work for a corporation called State of California that has a separate EIN number and operates as a for-profit business. The real republic, the government to serve the people, was abandoned. And Susan Dea Hamway, an attorney here locally in California, in LA in fact, stepped into that position because it was abandoned. The public trust is the government created by the people.
Do you think that the court will take action on the papers that you serve?
I believe that the courts already around the country have received notice that this is only the beginning, and yes, they will take action. Because once the people understand the level of corruption in their courts in relation to the mortgage issues, they're going to understand that when the banks cannot produce the evidence of a loan, there can be no debt that is collectible. Let me repeat that. When the American people understand that in order for there to be a collectible debt that could kick them out of their houses, the banks have to prove a loan took place, and they cannot do that because no loan ever happened. And they would destroy any one situation complaining about the mortgage fraud if they could one time produce evidence of a loan. They would destroy all of the arguments, all the complaints, but they failed to do so.
What about the case of robo-signing, in which they've hired people to sign some sort of, maybe not affidavit, but some sort of paperwork on behalf of the banks to say that there was some sort of loan that was signed between the homeowner and the bank? Have you heard of that?
Yes, I have, but you're dealing with the result, not the cause. What we serve today is the cause of the issue. In the paperwork that was served, and you can get a copy of the paperwork on a website called the People's Public Trust, 1776.org. All of the paperwork from Washington, where all the judges were disqualified as well, late last month, and here in California are available through links there in the cloud. Anyone can download them and read them. And what it says is, very simply, without evidence and proof of a loan, there is no debt that could be collected. So that is the cause of the issue. All of the other issues after that, whether they can produce a note, whether they have robo-signing, or whether the transfers to the trustees were correct, are based on a fraud. The core of the fraud, the core of the theft, the core of the corruption is the judges all know that no bank can produce evidence of the loan.
Okay, thank you all. Thank you both.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
I'll send you a bill and it's $1 a word here.
Sorry?
I'll send you a bill and that's $1 a word.
Sure.